Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another video where we are being diligent, preparing for the week ahead, and making that plan, mapping it out, so that way we can execute according to that plan and get to it. So, let me share my screen. Just the weekly outlook for the week of Sunday, March 22nd to Friday, March 27th. Today is Saturday, March 21st. So I'll just be doing AU, EU, GU, and UJ today. Um, so yeah. So last week my bias for AU was a sell. What it did for a majority of the week was it pulled back and then it began to sell towards the middle of the week, Wednesday. Now, dropping down, I don't even, this doesn't look to me like, it wants to continue to sell. It's so much going on. Really on a higher time frame. It's just no consistency as we can see. So this is just looking based off this impulse compared to the previous one and looking at the pillars, MAs, MACD, those things are telling me sell. So, because I said that last week, I'm still saying that this week. But from the lower time frame, we can see that the impetus level was the structure point was here, very high on this trend. So, my opinion, when I see that, I think that the trend wants to continue higher. But it didn't. It dropped lower, pulled back. FOMC, I think this was. I'm not sure. Then it continued to push down. So really, in all actuality, it's so much going on that I just want to get a little bit more data. Even though my bias is to sell, I personally want a little bit more data. I believe that the market can go lower. Um, but if it is, it's going to be based off, what it has already previously done. Um, in order, it's going to be based off what it's already done, in my opinion, based off the higher time frame structure. But nonetheless, EUGU and UJ, they look a little better. And I can give y'all better analysis on those. All right, with EU, last week my bias was a sell. Um, what it did do was it pulled back. It corrected the whole week. And ABC type correction, which looks very, very good. But zooming in, why I didn't take this opportunity is because um the trend within the trend, right? This was very impulsive. Like it is ton of volume still at this high. So I personally would like for the market this week. What I want to see is that the market pull back again with a loss of momentum, a loss of buyer's interest, and then we can look to potentially take the market on down to this level, or potentially even the level beyond that. Moving on to GPUSD. Again, last week my bias was a sell. Um, all it did was correct it last week, which is fine. But actually, let me get to the opportunity that I personally would have partaken in if I was trading on a higher time frame. So um, now the market did get to a level, right? As we can see here, we have a bullish engulfing candle. It's being respected by a bearish candle, broke through, right? And then eventually came back to retest it here. But being that I did not mark this zone up, I personally didn't partake in this. But looking at it, I thought that the market was going to go lower. Had I marked the zone, I would have taken it because at the time, let me draw the trend line, how the trend line was looking. At that time, this is how I would have drawn my trend line, right? Structure point way down here. That's good. That's fine. And then we have high volume divergence, looking at the MACD down here. Sorry, low volume divergence. Oh, my pillar shifted. So I would have actually taken this and I got stopped out on this one. But nonetheless, I did not take the opportunity. So I did protect my capital, which is the most important rule. Um, but now, the analysis is still the same. I still looking at this impulse here. I believe that the market is still selling. So now we did get to another level here. But again, just like EU, there was a ton of momentum, ton of momentum. Let me just drop down to the 15 and show you how much momentum was in this high, right? It's like no type of divergence whatsoever. So with that being said, yeah, I would not take that entry. So me personally, what I'm looking for again this week is I would like for if the market does not continue lower, I personally would like to see the market pull back higher, get back to one of these two zones that I marked up, and then proceed lower, potentially all the way to this next zone that I have marked up down here. And last but not least, last week I did the yen futures, um, which is the inverse of UJ. But how that played out was I said the market was selling, but I did see a loss of momentum, loss of volume to the downside. So I did say selling until the breaking structure. So we did get a breaking structure here. And I believe that's a temporary buy because again, like um, looking at this trend here, this structure point is very low for this downtrend, which means it's which means it still has room to push to the downside again. Uh, if if this uptrend structure is broken. So with that being said, now looking at UJ, which is the inverse of that, yen futures is temporarily buying. Um, I also believe that UJ is temporarily selling, which is the inverse of it. Um, Man, we've been going for a long time, and we just broke the structure point here. But with that being said, so I will be selling and looking for a sale, but only if it respects this zone here. There's one little zone that I have marked up. If it doesn't, which I don't believe in, I mean, it could. It's a possibility. But yeah, it was ton of momentum. We are losing momentum, but it's still overall a lot of momentum with this push here. So if market doesn't respect this, continues to go higher, so be it. Which goes back to what I said, sell until breaking structure, which will be this point here. Then I'm not that ready. Validation. All right. So yep, that's the week that I look for this week. This is a small recap. UJ currently looking for a sale until the breaking structure. GU could be on its way down. It's not showing me what I wanted to see. Um, but if the market does pull back to that zone or loss of momentum, then that's something I could partake in. If not, I would like to see a lower low created, then potentially look for some opportunities to the downside. EU, exact same thing as GU, and then AU. It's a level of inconsistency that I don't like, and I would like to see more data. I believe it's going down. I believe it's going down. If it does go down, creating a lower low, we can begin to start to look for opportunities. But other than that, we're going to be patient. We've already prepared. We're going to be patient, and then once we get everything we want to see, then we just participate. Thank y'all for watching.